Hey guys, and welcome back. Today I'm going to share with you one of our favorite healthy meals to make in the Instant Pot. One of our favorite dinners overall. This is something that you're going to make every single week, and it's so good, so nutritious. So what we're making today is broccoli, sweet potato, and quinoa bowls. They're so delicious. So we're going to get started first off with peeling our sweet potatoes. We are going to be cooking these in the Instant Pot separately because they do need different cooking times, but it is so quick. So pretty much while I'm chopping one, the other will be cooking. Parts about cooking with just whole food ingredients like sweet potatoes. You can buy these in the store, no packaging, and all of the food scraps, these can just go straight into my compost. So I love that. It's a really nice way to balance out, your impact environmentally and also make me some really great compost. Now I've got 2 giant sweet potatoes here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to chop these in half. I always like to make a flat surface when I'm going to chop so that they're not falling all over the place. So I like to cut them in half. You've got a nice flat surface. And then I'm going to go ahead and make strips. So I've got these long strips. And then once again we've got a flat surface, you can lay those flat. And then we're going to make sort of like matchsticks. That is how we'll be able to do our really nice, not a dice, but like a small chop on these potatoes. Now to give our Instant Pot a little bit of a boost, we're going to go ahead and turn it on, and we're going to do the high saute setting, and we're going to add in a half cup of water to our Instant Pot. Now I do have a little steamer basket in here. I found the neatest Instant Pot accessories kit, and this is one of the products that was in it, the steamer basket. If you have the trivet, you can add that. I love the steamer basket because I feel like it keeps more off of the bottom, and you're going to be guaranteed that it's not going to stick. So I'm just going to toss those sweet potatoes in as I'm chopping. If you've seen any of my other Instant Pot videos, then you'd know I really like that saute setting just to get the water heated up and things going while I'm chopping. Kind of like an Instant Pot multitasker. Alright, so I just put in the last of the sweet potatoes. We're going to go ahead and close our lid, and we're going to set the valve to sealing. Now we're going to go cancel on our saute and then pressure cook. So we're going to let those do their thing, and while that's going, I'm also going to be chopping an onion because we're going to be making our quinoa, and I really like to infuse that really great flavor and then also give you that added extra boost of nutrition. So I'm just going to be doing a fine dice on this. My kids, when I make quinoa, they do not notice if I'm adding in onion, if it's really finely diced. They don't notice, it just adds the good flavor and they won't even know. Now a lot of you guys ask me about where we buy our foods, how we afford organic, non-GMO, what we prioritize. And for me, kind of in my season of life, I think it's all about balance. If you're new to my channel, I am a mom of 4, so my oldest is 7 and my youngest is 2. So I definitely try to prioritize healthy meals, but then also balance because I don't want to be spending a ton of money, working a ton away from the kids. So my favorite strategy with that is to buy really great quality foods, but to make sure I'm getting with the best possible price. So if I'm needing something that's a staple like quinoa, my bouillon, things like that, I'm pretty much always shopping on Vitacost because they've got sales constantly, especially on Vitacost branded products. Organic, non-GMO. They've also got some of my favorite brands like the Better Than Bouillon. They've got nutritional yeast, the real salt that I love, which is more of like a natural mineral salt. So they've got everything. It's like the largest natural food store, especially when we didn't have one in our area. That was awesome because they have a pretty low threshold for free shipping. So pretty much every order you're gonna get free shipping, which is amazing. And then as far as produce and things like that, I try to get organic where I can. If it's on sale, then definitely I'm going with organic. Sometimes you'll even find in your store, when organic is on sale, it can even be cheaper than conventional. Yeah. Okay, onion is all done. I'm gonna go wash my hands real quick. Much better. It's always good to have clean hands when you're in the kitchen. Okay, so we are going to rinse our quinoa. This is super, super important to remove any of the bitterness from quinoa. And my favorite way to rinse it is to use kind of like a double bowl situation. So you've got a fine mesh strainer and a bowl. That way you can really, really make sure it's getting rinsed. So I'm gonna make 1 cup of quinoa. You could do more depending on if you want more grains. I think it's a little bit more healthy to have more of a vegetable ratio, but I think with kids, they usually like more quinoa or rice or however you're doing it. So you can do 2 cups if you'd like, or 1 cup. So I'm just gonna take this over to the sink and we'll do a quick rinse. You see how cloudy that water got just from the quinoa? That's why you really wanna make sure that you rinse it very, very well. All right, so we are all rinsed. And our Instant Pot has been just kind of hanging out here after our cook time. And it's been basically doing just a natural release. And we're gonna take our sweet potatoes out and put them on our baking sheet. You can add a little bit of oil if you'd like. I think I will, just to get them a little bit more crispy. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn on my oven to a high broil. I do like to put down just a little bit of olive oil onto my baking sheet just to make sure it's not gonna stick. If you're trying to avoid oil completely, you can just skip this and add like a little silicone mat if you'd like. But I think it kind of adds a little bit of an extra crispiness to the potatoes. Of course, if you didn't want to use the oven at all, you could skip this step. So I just went ahead and I released the steam. There was like no pressure in here because we let it do that release. I love that this basket has this little silicone handle so I can just grab it immediately. I'm gonna do my best to get out any of the cooking liquid on this because we really want to crisp those up in the oven. I'm gonna just lay these down into here. Look at that, perfectly cooked. Give them a good shake. And then we are gonna add on a little bit of salt and some garlic. I add granulated garlic to pretty much every single thing that I cook. Either fresh garlic that I've minced or granulated. In a pinch though, it's great. I literally buy this in bulk on Vitacost because we use it so much. Just to give you guys a little peek, let's grab one of these sweet potatoes so you can see how beautifully tender they are. Look at that, perfect. And then we are going to, really you don't need to rinse out this pot, but I do want to make sure that I've got, about a half a cup of water in there. So I'm just going to dump out the reserve here. Just do a little rinse. And then we're just going to add in our half a cup of water and also our chopped broccoli straight to the pot. And we're going to pressure cook these only for 1 minute. Of course, it's going to need a little bit of time just to get up to temp. So back to sealing, lid is closed, 1 minute, good to go. While that's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and measure out my bouillon because that's what I'm going to want to use for my quinoa, just to give it some flavor. So I'm going to add 1 teaspoon. This bouillon is my all-time favorite, this brand. They make the most amazing seasonings. If you don't have time to make like a really nice chicken stock or veggie stock, this is my go-to. Even with pasta, like just with some olive oil, some fresh herbs, and a little bit of this, it's so delicious. So the one I'm using today is just their regular vegetable base. This is a great all-purpose. Or if you're making any kind of soup, this is also really nice. For our quinoa to cook, we're gonna need 1 cup quinoa to 1.5 cup water. So if you're doing 2 cups of quinoa, 3 cups water. Typically when I make quinoa on the stove, I'm actually using a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 of the water, 1 to quinoa. But for Instant Pot, you're gonna have less steam escaping, so there's gonna be less evaporation. So we'll be good to go here with 1.5 cups of water for our 1 cup quinoa. So let me grab the water for that real quick. And I do store this bouillon in the fridge, so remember that. And let's go ahead and throw our sweet potatoes in the oven. Looks like that's nice and preheated. Something that's a little bit unconventional, I think, but also fun is sesame seeds, and that's what we're going to be using for our little garnish today. I always like to add just something that's visually appealing but also extra nutrition, so sesame seeds are a great go-to for bowls. So we're going to have this for our topper. I know a lot of you guys asked me questions about our bins back there and like our spices and how I do that. I did kind of a reorganization with some of the glass and silverware, so I'm trying that out. I've got all of my other canning jars and like all of our other spices and herbs in the cabinet over here. I'm always changing up my kitchen, but I do love how that looks, and I like being able to have healthy foods just on hand that I can grab from. Okay, so our pot just went off just at the 1 minute mark, so we're gonna go ahead and do a cancel and a quick release, so to let out the steam. I like my broccoli so it has a pretty good crunch, but if you like it done more, you could always go for a 2 minute. You just don't want it to be soggy, you know? Perfect. Look at that green goodness. I'm just gonna throw my towel over, and we're gonna get our quinoa going in the pot. Another neat thing that came inside of that accessories kit that I got were these little ones. I love them because they're great for grabbing the pot and they take up no room. They fit actually inside each other, which is really sweet. And you don't have to worry about them getting wet because they're silicone, so you can just wipe them off really easily. So I'm gonna go ahead and put our pot to saute, just on a medium saute. Looks like our sweet potatoes are done. Let's grab those. Okay, they weren't quite as done as I was hoping. We're gonna go 3 more minutes since we have the extra time. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of olive oil to my pot, and then also our onions, because we wanna get those all nice and sauteed before we cook our quinoa. If you're in a rush, you can always omit the onion. We'll bump that to a high saute. I'm also gonna grab another baking sheet, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing with roasting my broccoli, just to add that little bit of crispiness. Just a little bit of olive oil. Of course, you can omit this if you'd like, just to coat my pan and give a little bit of crispiness to the broccoli. Some salt, garlic, so my onions are about halfway to transparent. I'm going to go ahead and add in our water to the pot. We're going to do 1.5 cups of water for our 1 cup of quinoa. Also our teaspoon of the bouillon. This is key right here. If you guys have not tried this, you need to get on and order this stuff. Just look at all that flavor, like with no time at all, just, oh, it's so good. Now we'll throw in our quinoa. And believe it or not, the quinoa has a 1 minute cook time, which is insane. Of course, it's got to get up to pressure. So we're gonna put our valve in the back to sealing. We're gonna cancel the saute, and then we'll pressure cook for 1 minute. We are gonna allow it to do a natural release, so that's gonna do its thing. I've got a little bit of cleanup, so let's do that really quick. And our broccoli should be coming out in just a minute here. Our bowl. We just got 3 more minutes left on our quinoa, but since I keep snapping on all the broccoli, I want to make sure I actually have a bowl to show you guys. So I'm just going to put a healthy serving of our broccoli in 1/3 of the bowl. We'll do a good amount of sweet potatoes. I love that these don't stick too. Like when you're doing these solely in the oven, you're cooking them for about an hour and they're usually kind of stuck, but these are just perfect. For our topping, we're gonna go with our sesame seeds. A little bit on here. They just make everything look a little bit extra special. And we'll also add a little bit of smoked chipotle. This stuff is amazing. It's from Frontier Co-op, and I get this on Vitacost. Just a little bit because it is kind of spicy, but it does add a really great flavor. All right, we're at our 10 minutes. We're gonna hit cancel, release the steam, and our perfectly cooked quinoa. Look at that, it's just so perfect. Didn't stick to the bottom at all. I just like to fluff it up a little bit. And then we're gonna take a nice scoop, however much you want, into the bowl. Oh, you guys have got to try this. I mean, I think it speaks for itself. And I love just adding it into the broiler for just a few minutes to add that like extra little bit of crispiness without all the extra oil, and making it something that's not just that healthy, bright, beautiful veg. So if you guys want to check it out, I will put all the recipe links, and I'll also have that bouillon that I use and my favorite seasonings and such. I'll have links to those. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Let me just give it a taste test. Delicious, as always. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss my new videos. They come out every single Monday, so I've got a new video for you every single week. But if you're looking for new videos right now, don't forget to check out my playlist up above. I've got tons of Instant Pot recipes. Seems your favorite right now is my quick and easy vegan Instant Pot dinners, so that's definitely been a hit. But I've also got Instant Pot yogurt recipes, a soy milk yogurt recipe, and it is so creamy, so delicious, you're gonna love it. So check those out, and I will see you all soon. Bye guys.